Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're diving into a hot topic in the WNBA, spurred by recent comments from NBA champion Michael Porter Jr. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NBA content. All right, let's jump in. When it comes to the WNBA, it often feels like the league only makes headlines for the wrong reasons. Whether it's players speaking out about pay disparities, demanding first-class treatment, or even claiming they could take on NBA players one-on-one. The WNBA seems to be surrounded by controversy. Some might say that WNBA players are delusional, and as of 2024, nobody seems to have told them the harsh truth. Recently, Michael Porter Jr., a current NBA player and champion, shared his thoughts on the WNBA and its players in a polite yet honest manner. He highlighted the disparity in pay between the sports and emphasized that talent alone doesn't determine salary. Porter's analogy comparing WNBA players to ping pong athletes may have been a bit clunky, but the essence of his message was clear. The market dictates value. The crux of Porter's argument comes down to dollars and cents. While WNBA players are undoubtedly talented, the reality is that their sport doesn't generate the same revenue as men's basketball. Comparisons to other sports, like ping pong, underscore this point. In China, where ping pong is immensely popular, the viewership numbers dwarf those of the WNBA. This isn't about diminishing the skills of WNBA players. It's about understanding market dynamics. While advocating for equality and respect for female athletes is crucial, it's essential to recognize the differences in revenue and viewership between sports. As much as we'd like to see WNBA players compensated fairly, it's unrealistic to expect parity with male athletes when the financial landscape of the sports is so different. However, there may be opportunities to increase earnings for WNBA players through innovative solutions that recognize their talent and contribution to the game. The debate sparked by Michael Porter Jr.'s comments highlights the complex issues surrounding pay and recognition in women's sports. While there's no easy solution, it's essential to have these conversations to foster understanding and progress. Once again, Michael Porter Jr. has gone out of his way to show respect for women's basketball. From everything we've seen, he's been nothing but supportive of these players. But it seems that some players in the WNBA can't handle any form of criticism. When someone like MPJ offers constructive feedback, they fly off the handle and react with hostility. Now, let's talk about equality. Advocating for equality in terms of respect between men's and women's basketball is essential. However, equality of outcome isn't guaranteed. The NBA is undeniably more popular than the WNBA, which impacts revenue and viewership. It's a fact of life that sports and business are intertwined, and you can't force fans to support something they're not interested in. ESPN host Ryan Clark recently played devil's advocate for the WNBA, suggesting equal revenue sharing as a solution. But let's look at the facts. The NBA generates billions, while the WNBA struggles to turn a profit and relies on subsidies from the NBA. Demanding equal revenue share when one league generates billions and the other operates at a loss is simply unrealistic. In recent years, there's been a shift in the conversation from equal pay to equal revenue split. While it may sound more sophisticated, it's just as impractical. Asking the NBA to subsidize the WNBA's salaries and operations through equal revenue sharing is unrealistic and unsustainable. Ultimately, what matters most in basketball is the excitement of the game. Whether it's men's or women's basketball, the fundamentals and skills on display are what captivate audiences. While there may be differences in athleticism, the passion for the game is universal. While advocating for respect and equality is important, we must also consider the realities of the sports industry. Let's continue to support both men's and women's basketball while recognizing the unique challenges each faces. But let's address a common misconception: saying NBA players don't practice fundamentals as much as WNBA players. I just don't buy it. I won't go into a lengthy debate, but I simply don't agree with that notion. Michael Porter Jr. offered a suggestion that could make the WNBA much more exciting: lowering the rims. Surprisingly, this suggestion often sparks controversy among women's basketball fans and players. But think about it. Dunks are universally the most exhilarating plays in basketball. Imagine women throwing down poster dunks on lowered rims. That would undoubtedly generate more interest and views for the league. When a league struggles to make money, it needs to get inventive. Look at the ABA. They introduced the red, white, and blue ball, the three-point line, and even had halftime entertainment, like Jackie Moon wrestling bears. So why are some WNBA players offended by the idea of lowered rims? The ball is smaller, the court is smaller, and the three-point line is closer. It only makes sense for the rims to be lowered too. Let's take a moment to appreciate Michael Porter Jr.'s perspective on the NBA's 65-game rule. Instead of complaining, he acknowledges that players are paid well to be available for games. He even calls out fellow players who opt for load management instead of embracing the responsibility to play. It's refreshing to hear a player take accountability and prioritize the game over personal comfort. When we talk about the WNBA, let's look past the missed layups and dunks for a moment. From a simple business perspective, there are two crucial things a league needs: valuing the customer and in appreciating their business. Unfortunately, the WNBA often falls short in these areas. Instead, many players come off as bitter, entitled, and out of touch with reality. In the eyes of the average person working a 9-to-5 job, women's basketball often brings to mind college basketball, not the professional league. Why is that? It's not because college players are better, it's because the overall vibe of women's college basketball is more appealing. On the other hand, playing in a professional league that consistently loses money, demanding hefty contracts for a limited number of games, and performing in front of sparse crowds just doesn't sit right with most people. And there you have it, folks. The WNBA's constant self-destructive behavior and outlandish takes only serve to alienate potential fans further. But hey, I'm not complaining. I'll be here with my popcorn watching it all unfold. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.